my beautiful subscribers, and welcome back to another video. It's probably been a while since I've made a video about this game. I would like to move a lot of my content over the streaming side of things, since on my end, things have gotten a lot busier, and I finally have the right materials to do so. Please follow my Twitch account and be on the lookout for any of my streams whenever they drop. For real. So, Zenless, am I right? It's a gacha game where I have put the most time in gameplay, community, and content. I think it would be an understatement to say it changed the trajectory of this channel. I haven't really been following the community by any means, but I have noticed people have been quite negative about some of the characters that have been introduced to the game and how they don't correlate themselves into Zenless's design philosophies that they've developed for about a year or so. So, what happened? Why is that when a character goes off the grid, it receives immediate backlash from players? Well, let's talk about what makes Zenless characters visually unique. Something that is seemingly consistent with Zenless characters is that there's a strong focus on visual storytelling. They will give the viewer key parts in their design that would entice them, so if they ever wanted to learn more about the character through the game's story, their visual design answers their questions. I would also like to point out that visual philosophies can always evolve in some way. This frankly shouldn't be a surprise. I want to start off with a character who we are well familiar with, Jane Doe. Jane is one of the few Zenless characters where her design reached outside of the game's target audience and into the mainstream. The dev team knew this character was gonna hit big and went big with the advertisements from the game revolving around her. And other things as well. Without any context for Jane's inclusion in the story, the community loved her. But when she slithered her way in, she gets called out for being poor. What gives? What's going on? Well, I, for one, believe that Zenless's inaccuracy of displaying personality translated into their design is something that is rarely shown. Sissia was just given a bad hand.
Hey, how's about I join you kids?
That's okay, you can keep it.
There was nothing wrong from how she was written in the story, from what I've heard. There was nothing but praise. There was just clearly a disapproval of the visual drip marketing for some of these characters, especially recently. I imagine that Zenless's point with some of these characters was to build visual irony, you know? Like, this character's a brute, but actually a sweetheart. But like, I'm also not fucking delusional, and I think that would be opening a whole other can of worms. Then I would have to get philosophical, and let's just get to the point. Seed was a character that was first introduced with very mixed opinions about her. First thing is, well, look at her. Her colors contrast in comparison to her whole team. People have already expressed quite a lot on the feat matter as to find Seed's sole purpose in trying to find a standing. And when her story was revealed, people were head over heels. Now, I can understand the approach they are taking. She's disconnected and in her own story as the odd one out. In her origins, I can kind of dig the design since it vaguely translates well enough in her story. Oh, okay, fuck me, I guess. Okay, you know what? I think Lucia's design isn't bad. I think that Wi-Fi has this whole leather shorts thing going on, and I really don't understand why they need to make such a small change before her debut. But I think that her design through visual storytelling is good. It's good. It's not the best that we've ever seen, but it's good. I mean, she sort of has this mystery mystic thing going on in a book that she's clearly fixated with. If I were to not know anything about her and just make estimated guesses on the design, I can tell that she's intelligent in her own way. The design reels me in with the questions that are already laid out on her design. It's a hidden gem. This is as if Eldritch horror fans came up with this design. There's so much going on. I mean, we have a circular hat, a bright stocking, a hammer, whatever the fuck this thing is. If this is supposed to convey the confusion and insanity that is Eldritch art, then by all means, A fucking plus. How am I supposed to know that she's a writer? Of all things! I don't know. Maybe you can debate that the absurdity of the design dates back to her whole personal background and that there isn't really a defined style of the proxies aside from the two main ones that we see here. So we can't really use them as a base. They can be just about anyone. But what am I supposed to get at looking at this? I'm sure by the time season 3 drops, they have a footing. Season 2 was definitely experimental, to say the least. And I guess that's one thing for certain. They weren't ever afraid of doing something different. And I think that's pretty cool.